gym today? What you guys do?
We play with the parachute.
One at a time, please. I'm only gonna call people in their seats. Amelia?
We played with the parachute. We played and with the parachute we played cat and mouse, and we also played four corners.
Nice. Deanna? Ostrich? Okay. You guys have fun now?
Yes.
Okay. Yes, Alexis.
And actually not this here.
What?
Ostrich is this where you take this parachute, it's humongous. Everybody takes a little square, you do everybody's colors, and there are each little square. Triangles, actually. And then we all lift it up at the same time, and then we put it under our head and we kneel with an ostrich, because with an ostrich, it puts their head in the ground. Put it all in, and then when we put it under, it's like a big tent, and people can only see each other's heads.
Okay. Layla, and then we're gonna get started with the lesson, okay?
So cat and mouse is a game. So it's with a new teacher picks one of us. He tells us one cat or mouse. So we can choose cat or mouse. If you choose mouse, you get to go under the parachute. If you choose cat, you have to go over on the parachute. So as the mouse, you have to crawl around under the parachute and make sure that cat doesn't tap you. And the cat's goal is to tap the mouse.
Okay. Alrighty. Sounds like you guys had fun at gym. Today, we're gonna be learning about the 4 seasons in 1 year. Can anyone tell me what we learned previously and on Monday and Tuesday? Aria?
Cycle of the moon and sun.
The moon and sun. So what is when the moon's out? What time is it during the day?
Nighttime.
Nighttime. And when the sun's out, what time is it?
Morning.
Or noon. So that's
Daytime.
daytime. And yesterday we learned about what? The seasons and the reasons for seasons. Good. So before we get started, we're gonna do a little fun activity. I'm gonna be the big sun, and we're gonna do one cycle of daytime and nighttime. So if everyone can stand up on the right side of their desk. And remember, does the earth rotate in a clockwise or counterclockwise direction? Gerard? Counterclockwise, so it goes to the left, the opposite of a clock. So I'm gonna be the sun, and when you guys face the other way, it's gonna be nighttime. So when you face the other way, I want you guys to say nighttime. And when you turn all the way back to me, you're gonna be facing the sun, so it's gonna be
Daytime.
okay. I'm the sun. Pretend this is the big light. Turn counterclockwise. Turn. Stop.
Nighttime.
Turn. Stop.
Daytime.
How long does it take to complete one nighttime and daytime cycle? Let's do Mason. 24 hours. Correct. Alrighty, today we're going to be learning about 4 seasons in 1 year. I have a quick video to show you, a brain pop. Hold on a second. I have a technical difficulties.
You probably have to go in right from class line.
That's it. Thank you, kiddos, for being so patient.
Come on, Moby, let's go sledding. You can't go surfing now. It's the middle of winter. What is winter like? Check out all this snow. Winter is the coldest season where I live. Hey! A season is a part of the year that has the same kind of weather patterns. There are different ways to split the year into seasons. Some places have a rainy season and a dry season. Other places divide the year into 4 seasons: winter, spring, summer, and fall. It snows a ton where we live during the winter. That's why we wear heavy coats, hats, scarves, and mittens. Many plants stop growing in the winter. And since food is hard to find, some animals hibernate or go into a deep sleep. Then they come out when it gets warmer. What is spring like? In the spring, the weather warms up. It rains a lot every spring too, so we wear raincoats and boots to stay dry. Plants begin to grow again, and many baby animals are born. Cool. They'll probably fly by the time summer starts. What is summer like? Summer is the hottest season where I live. I wear shorts and t-shirts and plenty of sunscreen. I love the summer because we get to go on vacation. By the end of the summer, I'm ready for the school year to start. What is fall like? In fall or autumn, the weather can get pretty chilly. So we wear sweaters or light coats. Right, the leaves of some trees change colors and fall off. And some animals eat a lot and store food to last through the winter. As the temperatures get lower, it becomes winter all over again. What makes the seasons change? Each year has the same cycle of seasons. A cycle is an order of events that repeats. Our planet goes around, or orbits, the sun once every year. Earth is tilted at an angle. During different times of the year, when our part of the Earth is tilted toward the sun, the weather is warmer, like in the summer. So as the Earth goes around the sun, the seasons change, but some places stay warm all year round. The equator is an imaginary line that goes around the middle of the Earth. The areas near the equator do not tilt away from the sun. Right, Moby. The weather is warm in the countries near the equator throughout the year. But right now, it's still winter. You have to wait a few more months before you can go to the beach, Moby. Whoa. I guess if you can't go to the beach, then the beach can come to you. Scoot over, Moby.
Alrighty. What season is it right now if we look outside? Or the temperature could tell us. Deanna? Yes, it is winter time. Okay, so today we're going to be learning about the 4 seasons in 1 year. And I want all eyes and ears on me, please. Thank you. Earth revolving around the sun. Do you know why many plants grow rapidly during the summer or more slowly or not at all during the winter? Or why some animals migrate whereas others hibernate? Only certain parts of our planet have seasons. This is because of the shape and tilt in the Earth. The region around the equator receives the greatest amount of direct or intense sunlight. So if we look at this globe right here, the equator is where? Is it up here? Down here? Going through this way to the South Pole, to the North Pole? Which one is it? Which line is it? Mason?
It's the one that goes all around.
All around right here, yes. That's what creates two hemispheres. The region between the poles on either side of the equator is called the temperature region. In this region of the world where we live, most places experience all 4 seasons. So, how long does it take for the Earth to complete one full orbit around the sun? We talked about the daytime and nighttime cycle, which takes 24 hours. How long does it take the Earth to go all the way around the sun until it reaches the starting point again? Madison? 1 year. And how many days during the year? Avery? 365. Correct. 4 seasons in the northern hemisphere. Remember, during the time of the year when the northern hemisphere is tilted towards the sun, this part of our world receives more daylight and more intense sunlight. This means it is summertime in the northern hemisphere. If it's summertime in the northern hemisphere, on the opposite side of the world, which is the southern hemisphere, what season is it? Bryson? Winter in the southern hemisphere, correct. That's why, as Earth revolves around the sun and is tilted on its axis, the seasons change. Now let's discover more information about each specific season. As each year passes in the temperature region of the world, which is where we live, it changes our temperature and weather. These weather cycles have been divided up into what is called seasons. Spring. Yes, Alexis. What's your question?
What's the December solstice and the winter?
Winter solstice. And then it's summer solstice, fall equinox, and spring equinox. We're going to be talking about spring right now. In spring, daylight hours increase and the sunlight becomes much stronger. With warmer weather, more rain begins to fall. With increased light, warmth, and rain, plants begin to grow again. Seeds resting in the soil begin to take root. The warmth from the sun and rainfall enables plant seeds to begin to grow into plants. You have probably heard the saying, April showers bring May flowers. Have you guys heard that?
Yes.
New plants emerge, and plants that have been inactive for the winter become active and start growing again. As buds and leaves form, water absorbed or taken in by the plant travels up to the stem to the leaves. Plants use water and sunlight to make their own food, as well as oxygen for us to breathe. This process is called photosynthesis. It is during springtime that the great burst of life and energy begins. So, bud means the small parts that grow on trees and develop into flowers. Can someone tell me what photosynthesis means? You can read it right straight off the board. Anna? Yeah. Can anyone name some flowers that grow during the springtime? We just talked about it before from that book. Mason? A rose. What else? Kayla?
Lavender.
Lavender. Anna? Tulips. Aria? Yep. Summertime. Because the northern hemisphere receives more intense sunlight from the sun at a more direct angle in the summer, temperatures are usually at their highest during these months. With the increase of light and heat in the summer, plants grow big and strong. Young animals are born and grow strong during this fruitful time. What activities can we do during the summertime? Ryan?
Go in the pool.
Why do you think we can go in the pool during the summertime?
Because it's warm outside.
Because it's warm outside, yes. Avery, you go to the beach. I'm going to take one more hand, and that's going to be Jackson. Yeah, you can hang out with your family and friends, right? Autumn, or what we call it, fall. As the earth revolves and summer turns to autumn, both the temperature and the environment begin to change again. In autumn, while it's still warm, light from the sun is not as intense, and the growth and development of plants and animals begin to slow down. In many places in the northern hemisphere, autumn is the time to harvest the crops that have been grown and ripped beneath the summer sun. Grass crops are harvested and grapes are picked from the vines. Fruits such as apples, pears, pumpkins are ready to be eaten. What do you do during the fall? Usually, what activities do you usually do during the fall? Liliana? Celebrate Halloween, yes, you can do that. Usually go to a fair and pick what? Matthew? You forgot? Okay. Let's get a new hand. Let's do Blake.
Pumpkins.
Pumpkins, yeah, you can go pumpkin picking, apple picking, and etc. Leaves change color in autumn because trees receive less sunlight. When photosynthesis stops, these leaves begin to die and fall off. Trees that have leaves that change color and fall off also. The northern winter, or animals in the winter. When winter arrives, it means that the part of the earth is now tilted away from the sun and temperatures and sunlight are minimum. It also means that summer has arrived in the southern hemisphere, and in the northern hemisphere, if it's summer over here on the opposite side, it is Oriana?
Nighttime.
Almost, that's almost on the right track. Mason, if it's summertime in the southern hemisphere, in the northern it is winter time. That's what we're experiencing right now. It's winter time outside. Migration is a big part of the yearly cycle of changes. Some birds, for example, travel long distance to their winter homes. They prepare for their migration by eating lots of food they can store and use as energy. Like many plants that lay dormant in the winter, there are animals that hibernate. On the way here today, I was listening to the radio, and I was listening to the guy who's speaking on it, and he said that bears today and this week have been starting to get out of hibernation and starting to go in the real world again. What is hibernation? Olivia? Sleeps for a very long time, yes. And what do they do when they sleep? Are they just sleeping and dreaming all the time, or they're Anna? Yeah. So they save a lot of energy so they can start growing when the spring comes. There are also animals that stay in the natural habitat through the colder months and survive as best as they can. Animals such as foxes, deer, and rabbits search for food on the frozen land. Some build snug homes to keep out of the cold. They have learned to adapt or adjust to their ever-changing environment. People adapt too. How do we adapt to the wintertime? Avery? You get used to the change, so we start wearing what? Do I start wearing bathing suits? Do I start wearing sandals in the wintertime? What do I do, Liliana? Keep you warm. Snowsuits, jackets, snow hats, etc. And then after the whole cycle, we went through spring, we went through summer, then we went through winter, and then it repeats again, right? All the way back to springtime. We are all part of this never-ending cycle. When spring returns, the cycle of growth will begin all over again, and new life will appear on Earth. Yes, Alexis?
Wouldn't the kind of frog, the wooden frog from the mystery dog we watched, it freezes. This also stays out in the winter. The wooden frog, it just freezes at winter. Then when it turns December, it just melts.
Yeah.
And then it pops right off.
Ariana?
You forgot to say gloves.
Gloves? Oh yeah, you can wear gloves in the wintertime, yes. Anna? Hats also, yes. Can you name some animals that hibernate and some animals that migrate? Ryan? Bears hibernate. Matthew? Squirrels. Maybe some squirrels sleep, yes.
Birds.
Birds what? Do they hibernate or migrate? Migrate, yes. For the last slide, we're going to do some comprehension questions. So basically, this is a little review of what we just did, my read aloud. What was the main topic of today's read aloud? Bryson? The 4 seasons, yeah. Why do plants grow more during the summertime than other seasons? Mason?
Because it's like more hot and it's like the winter. And then it's like really cold.
So when it's hot out, is the sun out or is it more cloudy? Sunshine, because sunshine helps plants grow, right? And there's more water in the summer than all the other seasons. Why do some animals migrate south in the fall and return north in the winter? In the spring? Aria?
Because the south is warmer than the north.
Correct. Last but not least, how do people adapt to the winter and summer? So how do people adapt? Let's do winter first. How do people adapt in the winter? Alexis?
Staying warm and
Correct. And during the summertime, how do people adapt? Do they keep their jackets on all the time and snow hats on? What do they wear? Anna? Shorts, t-shirts, so they don't overheat, right? Okay. Before we move on to the next slide, you guys, if you can name 2 specific facts about one season, put a thumbs up. And if you can name 1 fact about a specific season, put a thumbs in the middle. And then if you can't name any facts about any season, put a thumbs down. I want to see thumbs up, thumbs in the middle, or thumbs down. Which one do you guys think? Can you name 2 facts about a specific season? High up in the sky, so I can see them, please. What do you think? So what do you don't know? Good. Alrighty. For the next activity, we're gonna do a think, pair, share, just like we did yesterday. So yesterday I gave you assigned partners, right? Do you guys remember the assigned partners?
No. Yes, well, I wasn't here.
Oh, Alexis, you weren't here, so I'll take care of that once we go around, okay? So in this think, pair, share, think of a question you can ask your neighbor about the read aloud that starts with the word why. For example, you can ask, why is there more sunlight in the summer? Okay, so that was my example. Now, start with your partners, get together with your partners. And if you have a why question, you're gonna listen carefully to your partners, and then once your partner stops, then you can ask your question, okay?
Yeah, because Yeah, let's see what this
Alright.
is. So she doesn't
So if we have 4 people, right? 2 and 2. Let's do 2 and 2 here. Yeah. Brian, alright, you guys can do it together, yeah. We'll do it for 5 minutes. 5 minutes. You don't have to answer. Two more minutes. 2 more minutes.
We don't go to school. Because we need to learn more stuff.
1 more minute. 1 more minute. Wrap it up. Wrap it up.
About the season. Why? Because yeah, we're just starting. This is the Earth.
10, 9, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Actually,
Flat tire. Thank you guys. Now we're gonna do an independent activity. Can I have the paper patches, please? Yeah. Ariana, you can do the windows. Bryson, you can do the cubbies, okay? That's one of those worksheets. So the worksheet that's getting passed out. Can I have whole body attention, please, up here? I'm waiting for a few to have their eyes set on me.
Just the way.
I'm missing two.
Thank you, Ariana.
Well, I was missing two.
Okay, that's fine. So on this worksheet that you just got handed out, Bryson and Ariana handed out, the directions is set up on top. Directions. Look at the picture and write the correct word on the lines below. So, we can do the first one together. Can someone tell me up here what temperature it's saying or describing in this picture? Anna? It's hot. So you get the word hot, you cross it out on top, and write it on the line right next to the picture. If you guys have any questions, let me know, and you can continue to work on this worksheet all by yourself.
First hot, okay. Wood.
Yes. That's it. If there's flowers, when new flowers start to grow. What's the season before summer? What's after winter? What's the start after? Yeah. Spring. Make sure to put your name on top. Don't forget to put your names on top, please. I'll be coming around and checking them. Once you're done, put your hands up, and then I have another worksheet for you guys to complete. Can I have Ariana and Bryson up here, please? Pass out the next worksheet. It's okay, you can finish it.
I'm done. You said I was even done.
Oh, you were done with yours? Yeah?
I'm done with
Okay, okay. Once again, you can do copies. Gotta come check it. Sit down,
You're
just
doing
see.
cookies after.
You do copies, and you do the window.
Make sure you give me the right now because there's always been working something.
That's okay. If you want to see that now, Ariana can finish it, okay? So at the top of this worksheet that's getting handed out, you're going to draw a picture that shows what you might wear outside in the winter and summertime. So for me, in this winter box, I'll be drawing me with a big coat on to keep me warm. And then in the summertime, I'll draw myself with sandals on a beach with the ocean, waves, and the sunlight also, okay? You don't have to do exactly what I said, but that's just an example for you guys. Thank you. Okay. So, you know,
What do we have next?
you're done drawing the picture of you, what you're wearing in the winter and summertime, take out your crayons and start coloring it. Make it look pretty. That's beautiful. That looks just like you. I love how everyone's quietly working.
It's different. So what kind of lights do you have? Green. Good, that's green.
I love the pool in the summer also. When you complete both worksheets, raise your hand so I can come over and check it. And once you're done, you can take an independent read until we go to lunchtime. Lunchtime soon.